Go back in the workshop. Joe A. draws up some connectors. Then Terry and Mike quickly cut aluminum too. And soon, the fast-track fabricators are all three back in the workshop, putting the dome in its new frame.
Okay, that's good.
We got the dome up, and it's really starting to give you the idea of what it's going to be like to be kind of swimming inside this thing.
Mix this with water and sharks. It's going to be really cool.
But Terry and Mike know how far they've still got to go.
Now all we need is the ROV working, our little submarine thing with the camera on it. We need to get this thing in a tank. We need the projector hooked up that. We need the scooter. We're nearly like, what, 3/4 of the way done?
And by the next day, the dome is back on the truck, and the guys find themselves once again at Discovery Kingdom to test their dome in its frame underwater for the first time.
We're going to do what, to me, is the most critical test of this entire project. We're going to sink the dome, and we're going to project through the plexiglass and through the water onto the dome, and we're going to see how good the image is. If this works, then we're in business, and if it doesn't work, we'll be dead in the water.
As the sun sets, Travis from Obscura Digital calibrates the projection outside the empty tank's viewing window, and the dome is ready and lowered into place. This dome will display video projected from the reef, or in our case, the shark tank. But for proof of concept, a test pattern is projected onto the dome.
Can you tell them a little to the right?
Mike, how's it look?
It looks really good.
Okay, hold it there, guys.
We're going to kill the lights up here.
Wow. It looks really good. Hold position. We're adjusting the projector.
It's right on the money. I can't believe it.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They're ready for the Sea Cave's first aquatic demonstration.
We're commencing image test now.
And for Joe and Terry, the immersive effect of this fantastic voyage is immediate.
It looks great. It looks so cool. I can't even really describe it to you. It pulls you in, that's for sure. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's a really crisp image.
It really does look really impressive down here. It builds your field of view. It's a full immersion. You feel like you're there. God, I think I just stare in front of that screen for hours. I think we have a winner. It's going to be completely immersive and believable. You couldn't ask for anything better. Unbelievable.
Once Terry and Joe are back up top, Mike wants to know more about their experience.
Other than just being like one of the coolest things you've ever seen, did you feel like you were really experiencing this?
When you're floating there and you're just watching the screen and you're not really moving too much, you don't even realize that you're in water. You just feel like you're kind of floating.
With using our shark tank and us being up here in the dolphin tank, it's going to be completely immersive, completely believable. You're going to be swimming with the sharks.
And with that successful test under their belts, Joe determines that this mind-blowing virtual reality experience is only missing one thing.
The only thing lacking is that we can't eat popcorn down there.
Next, underwater popcorn.
Yeah.
We got to make it.
We got to work on that.
Coming up, Joe plays professor,
This nifty device can measure a magnetic field.
while Terry and Zaz
I'll get him again. Watch this.
play shark and fish.
Man, this thing's coming out from everywhere.
And later, it's the big test of the Sea Cave.
3, 2, 1.
But the sharks might have something to say about that.
I'm done. I am not getting back in there.
Prototype This has taken to the simulated high seas for their latest project, a virtual sea adventure that will allow you to scuba any reef in the world from the safety of your local swimming pool, while immersed in 180-degree projection provided by the live feed from the remote sub at the real reef. You drive a propulsion device like a sea scooter around the pool, and the remote sub heads in the direction that the scooter's pointing to make the scuba sensation as real as possible. To control the diver's virtual eyes on the shark tank, master electrical engineer Joe Grand must create custom drive electronics. So here's a short seminar on how he's planning to get it done.
One challenge of the Sea Cave build is that we have to control the ROV inside the shark tank using this sea scooter. So we're going to have to create some custom controls. Normally, control would come from a joystick, like you use in your basic video game. But most electromechanical devices don't do so well underwater. So I've come up with a solution. using magnetic position sensors. So I got the magnet and I got the sensor. Pretty small, huh? Well, size isn't everything. It's how you use it.
This nifty device can measure a magnetic field and determine the position of the magnet in proximity to the sensor.
As I move the magnet over the sensor, the output voltage of the sensor changes depending on the magnet's position. That voltage change is represented by the dot on the oscilloscope. See? It's moving. Cool. Simple translation, it's just like using a joystick where I can move up, down, left, and right, but it's completely contactless. And once I seal up the sensor, it'll work underwater. Now I have to figure out how to control physical objects with it.
So Joe creates a playful test
Oh yeah.
to show us how his controls work.
I have the sensor connected to a microprocessor that controls two motors, the X and Y axes of the toy. So when I take my magnet and hold it over the sensor, I can draw pictures, just like I was using a joystick. Cool. But this is all just child's play. What I really have to do is take the sensor and the electronics and figure out an interface to control the ROV.
And while Joe ponders the Sea Scooter's drive control problem in the lair, the next problem is acquiring a mini-sub to respond to Joe's scooter's every move and provide a live feed from a real reef. So Terry and Zaz head down to Seabotics to check out their robotic mini-sub.
Seabotics is a company that makes ROVs. That's remotely operated vehicles. Basically little underwater robots. They're going to be perfect to swim through the aquarium and give the